I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go.
Come to the next Best Buddies chapter meeting
on February 28th.
Check in with your advisory teacher, then come down.
Have you ever gotten so mad at your teacher that you just want to tape them to a wall or pie them in the face? Well, NJHS is holding a fundraiser to do exactly that.
NJHS is having a fundraiser for natural disasters around the world, and we need your help. We are raising money for those who are in need of help around the world. We are donating to 3 different organizations: Australian Red Cross, UNIDOS, and Save the Children.
Donations will be held outside of the cafeteria during lunch, and an NJHS member will be at a table to collect all of your information, which, if you want to pie or tape a teacher, or both, and which organization you want to donate to.
Ticket sales will be open from Monday, February 24th to Tuesday, March 3rd.
So go get your tickets.
If you want to be on the baseball team from Northview, come to the call-up meeting.
The call-up meeting is March 4th in Mr. Warren's room. Come join us.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
A slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my
The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to choose our better history, to carry forward that precious gift, that noble idea passed on from generation to generation, the God-given promise that all are equal, all are free, and all deserve a chance to pursue their full measure of happiness.
The 1990s were decades of highs and lows for African Americans in the United States. African Americans continued to gain representation in politics and art.
In 1990, Sharon Pratt Kelly became the first African American woman to lead a major city in the United States when she was elected mayor of Washington, D.C.
Many others were elected to political offices in the early 90s as the first African American representative in those roles.
In 1993, Toni Morrison won the Nobel Peace Prize in Literature for her novel Beloved. Morrison is the first African American to hold such a distinction.
Billionaire, media executive, and philanthropist Oprah Winfrey is best known for hosting her own internationally popular talk show, which premiered in 1986.
Winfrey launched the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1986 as a nationally syndicated program that ran for 25 years until 2011. From there, she launched her own television network, OWN.
Denzel Washington. His supporting actor role in Glory led to a series of high-profile parts, beginning with a role as the Black nationalist leader, Malcolm X. The following year, he starred in the Oscar-winning picture Philadelphia.
Continue.
And in 1999, he portrayed former boxer / wrongly imprisoned convict Reuben Carter in The Hurricane.
50 years old. I've been locked up for 30 years.
For Washington, the 90s were a whirlwind of success.
Hate put me in prison. Love's gonna bust me out.
Number 3, Will Smith.
You will see that there is nothing to be scared of.
Will Smith's box office career came about through his work on the smaller screen. The NBC sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thrust Smith into the limelight and confirmed him as a first-class actor. Roles in Bad Boys and Men in Black confirmed him as a leading face in the increasingly popular action comedy crossover genre.
And to be honest, I'd appreciate it if you eased up off my back about it.
Smith had stated his intentions to be the biggest movie star on the planet, and in the 90s, he very nearly got there.
But with the forward strides were also setbacks. The concerns about police abuse and of power and racial discrimination were growing in intensity.
This issue drew national attention with the LA riots of 1992.
In March of 1991, Rodney King, an African-American construction worker who was on probation for robbery charges, was being pulled over for drinking and driving by the California Highway Patrol.
King led police on a high-speed chase and the LAPD became involved in the pursuit. When he was finally stopped, King was tasered by LAPD officers and beaten severely.
The assault was caught on video by an onlooker and was broadcasted around the world. The officer stated that King resisted arrest and threatened them. The African American community was outraged, having long accused the LAPD of racial profiling.
The case went to trial, and in April 1992, the officers were found not guilty. The verdicts allowed 4 days of riots in Los Angeles, particularly in the mostly African American neighborhood of South Central.
By the time the riots subsided, at least 55 people were dead, more than 2,300 injured, and more than 1,000 buildings had been burned.
Authorities later estimated the total damage at around $1 billion.
2 of the officers were retried the following year and were convicted for violating King's civil rights. King received a $3.8 million settlement from the city and became a writer and a civil rights activist.
The O.J. Simpson case gripped the nation and brought up national issues of race during the mid-90s.
He deserves to go free. They had no evidence on him.
So much evidence to deliberate for as short as they did and come back with a not guilty verdict. I think it shows the jury was pretty irresponsible. And money can buy you justice, exactly.
I think this jury sent a message that the time has come here in Los Angeles and in America that indeed there must be a level playing field for everybody.
And I'm just don't think justice was served. I don't think the jury did their job. I think they knew what they were going to do from the gate. I think it was racist based, and it was racist from the black point of view.
Michael Jordan is famously known for being one of the best professional basketball players of all time. He played with the Chicago Bulls for 14 years, then retired when he was 33.
After retiring from basketball, Jordan joined the Chicago White Sox. He also began acting during this time. He returned to the Chicago Bulls from 1995 to 1998, and he retired again.
And after 3 years of retirement, he returned to the NBA with the Washington Wizards. In 2003, he retired from professional sports for good. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2009.
Right here. Shaquille O'Neal is a retired professional American basketball player who is a sports analyst on the television program inside the NBA on TNT.
He is considered one of the greatest players in NBA history. He was drafted from LSU to play for the Orlando Magic in 1992.
O'Neal played for 6 teams throughout his 19-year NBA career and was announced as a nominee for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame on December 21st, 2015.
So today, whether you like it or not, God brought the idea through me. He didn't bring it through me because my heart was dark and I'm filled with hatred for white people and for the human family of the planet. If my heart were that dark, how is the message so bright, the message so clear, the response so magnificent?
In 1999, Serena Williams won the women's singles tennis championship at the U.S. Open. Williams was the first African-American woman to reach such an achievement since Althea Gibson won in 1958.
The 90s saw the birth of the West Coast-East Coast rap rivalry.
Tupac Amaru Shakur was shot and robbed in 1994. Tupac accused the Notorious B.I.G. and Sean Puff Daddy Combs from Bad Boy Records of being involved. And this sparked the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry that played out in the next few years. Thanks mostly to the bail posted by Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, Tupac was released less than a year after his incarceration. Rivalry between the hip-hop scenes had not yet ended at this point. While returning from a boxing match on the night of September 7th, 1996, Tupac was shot multiple times in a drive-by. He died while in the hospital 6 days later. The murder case was never solved, and this gave rise to the many theories of the cause of the shooting. For instance, some think that the East Coast-West Coast rivalry was to blame, while others believe Suge Knight may have been involved. Many posthumous albums have been released since Tupac's death.
The Notorious B.I.G. A rift formed between him and former friend-turned-rival Tupac Shakur. The rivalry came to a head in September 1996 when Tupac was shot and killed in a drive-by. The next year, Biggie hoped to make peace between the two coasts when he traveled to California to promote his album Life After Death and its lead single, Hypnotize. His reception was mixed, but on March 9, 1997, as he was leaving a Soul Train Awards after-party in LA, he was shot and killed in the passenger seat of his SUV while stopped at a red light. Just over 2 weeks after his death, the Notorious B.I.G.'s second album was released.
African-American female singers dominated the R&B scene in the 1990s. Here are some of the major artists.
Aspirations and hopes are coming true. Believe in yourself, the rest is up to me. Yeah. Go chasing waterfalls.
Check it out!
You ready to go? Yes, I'm ready to go.